This PetX Talk is brought to you by Pet World Media Group, your partner in all things pet media. Additional funding and considerations provided by Natura Pets, Found Animals, and Dogwise Publishing. Are you ready to be empowered? Then join us for this PetX Talk.
My name is Pete Stirling. I'm the Vice President of Skouts Honor. We make natural cleaning products for the pet space, specifically stain and odor category. Today I'm going to talk about a brief history of the stain and odor category in pet, and also what the future holds in terms of new technologies and the great products that are going to be on offer here over the next few years. So right now there's a couple different technologies on the market in pet that are relevant, and the most dominant would be enzyme technologies, or the bacteria and enzyme concoctions that people have sort of put together to help deal with the pet stain and odor problems from a natural standpoint. So right now we have two different options on the pet space that you're really seeing a lot of. And the first would be a enzyme or a bactoenzyme formula that combines bacteria and the enzymes they create to help break down pet waste. The second would be a solvent solution, or dilimamine, citrus cleaners, that type of an approach that essentially takes an organic plant-based material and makes it into a solvent to help break down the stain and suspend it in a solution to make it easier to remove. Those technologies have been around for a long time. It's been about 30 years that we've had enzyme technologies in this space, and they've got a really strong following. People really believe in them. The good news is that we are actually at the point now with the development of this type of product where we've reached the next generation. So the generation beyond bacteria and enzymes and the citrus solvents when it comes to cleaning pet stain and odors. And there's really some phenomenal new ground being broken in terms of the surfactant technology. Now, surfactants are present in everyday cleaners. You see them all over the place. They're in the enzyme cleaners and the citrus-based cleaners as well. But what we're starting to see is surfactants that are coming into their own and being able to act as a standalone solution and provide superior cleaning capabilities to products and still maintain a green presence. And that's what's really, really important, I think, to a lot of pet parents. Green cleaning is important. It's very special to be able to know that the product that you're bringing into your home is safe, environmentally conscious, and is something you can feel comfortable using around your pet's family and in a household where you've got your friends and everybody coming in to visit. One of the things that has traditionally been an issue with green cleaning is the lack of a truly environmentally sound surfactant, which is, for those who don't know, a surfactant is essentially a detergent. It's a tiny little molecule that likes to both be dry and wet at the same time. So when you introduce it to a stain, or what we call a substrate, the part that doesn't want to be wet, that's suspended in the liquid, automatically attaches itself to, we'll call it the dirt or the stain. And the part that likes to be in water stays in the water. So what ends up happening is the surfactant molecules encapsulate the stain and suspend it in the solution. And this makes it very easy to remove. So traditionally, all of the surfactants that we were seeing were petrochemicals. There were some organic surfactants out there, or surfactants made from plant-based material, but they were heavily processed, and from an environmental standpoint, it was kind of a wash. This next generation, we're really starting to see a development in where they've not only come up with something that's environmentally friendly, but also in the manufacturing phase, they're simplifying it and making it more responsible as well, which is great. That's what we want to see, more responsible products on the shelf so that the consumer can make a difference in the world that we live in by choosing a product that stands up for their ideals and what they're looking for in terms of an environmental solution on a global level. We call it conscious consumerism. It's the ability to make a difference in the world you live in by choosing the products that you use every day wisely. So right before my wife and I got married, we had an incident where we used an over-the-counter cleaner we got at a mass retailer to clean our carpets. And to make a long story short, our Yorkie ended up getting inhalation pneumonia and passing away as a result. So that was something that weighed heavily on my conscience as I entered the space and started looking at being involved in the stain and odor category. And one of the things that was very important to myself and my partner when we started developing our brand was to find a solution that was natural, something that was non-toxic. Obviously, there's an environmental standpoint that we want to stand by as well, being outdoorsmen and surfers and everything that goes along with that Southern California lifestyle. So we wanted to be biodegradable, biorenewable, and really just check all those green boxes. Now, there's a social assumption that goes with a green product that they're not powerful, and I think that that has been true up until this point. The good news is now there are great green products out there that are very powerful and can get the job done. A lot of that is thanks to something that happened in California just recently. A few years ago, California passed what's called the California Green Chemistry Initiative. And that essentially was a law that holds the state of California and manufacturers of cleaning products to the highest standards of environmental responsibility and safety in the world. So what goes in California goes nationwide. Any product made in California can safely be sold in Australia or Canada, in Europe. We really have reached the pinnacle of safety and consumer responsibility in terms of the products that we produce in this state. What is neat about that was it created a time and place where, for the first time in some cases 100 years, the best minds in the business had to go back and reinvent the wheel on stain and odor. California is the world's 7th largest economy. So you're not going to lose that big a piece of the pie without trying to go back and see if you can do it better. And the best minds went back and they came out with some really, really great new technologies. So one of the things that we take advantage of is a new technology that elevates a surfactant type chemical to the point where you can have a chemical that works both as a surfactant and as a solvent. By only having one ingredient in your product, it allows you to make a more powerful product. You don't have to worry about separation. You don't have to worry about interaction of multiple ingredients. It's more environmentally responsible because you're not going through this giant process phase of it with the different solvents and the different enzymes and the different surfactants. And what we really appreciate out is that you're still checking all those green boxes. So this new class of chemicals is phenomenal in its ability to clean, but still environmentally and socially responsible. And that's key when it comes to the next generation of this type of a product. You have to be able to cater to the wants and needs of the customer who's looking for something that is going to give them peace of mind when they use it around their loved ones, around their fur family and their human family, but also something that's going to make them feel as if they're positively contributing to making this world a better place through conscious choices when they're purchasing at retail. So a lot of times people want to know what to look for when you're searching out a green product on the retail shelf. And I think that the best thing to do is to first off find a solution for the problem you're trying to solve. A lot of times people will go to the shelf and they won't really know what they're looking for. And the most important thing is that what you buy is going to properly deal with your problem, because then you're not wasting product, you're not using product you don't need to use, and it's cutting down on waste in that way. The second thing to look for would be a product that makes specific claims. I would look for non-toxic. I like biorenewable. I think that's a good one that we definitely should put more focus on. I think that a natural product is something that we should all strive for when we go to shop, especially in pet specialty. In natural products, it's not something that's regulated by the FDA, so a call to the company might be warranted. You don't have to do it multiple times. Once you're satisfied and you trust the company, I think that that's enough to feel comfortable moving forward with. But typically, most companies strive to stay in line with what they're seeing in the human product space, which is 97% or more bio-based, so either plants, minerals, or water. Another thing that I would definitely look for in a natural product is something that's pH balanced. If you have something that's very acidic or basic, you can actually burn the paws on your pet and cause skin irritation. That's definitely not something that we want. So pH balance is another one to kind of keep in mind. To recap, the really exciting thing about this specific time is that we have this next generation of products that are coming out that are not only checking all the green boxes, but they work really, really well. They require less processing, so the environmental benefit is far greater than it was in the past. And I think over time you're going to see price coming down as well. Right now you're seeing, for a truly natural product, the active ingredients that companies are using can sometimes be as many as 10 times more expensive than a petrochemical. So supporting the companies that are using these chemicals is more important than ever, because it's through your support and through the increased volume that they're going to be able to get that price down and make sure this is a more relevant product category as we move forward in the pet stain and odor category. So hopefully this conversation helps you guys pick a product on the shelf. Really what it comes down to is being able to walk into your local retailer and make a conscious decision on the products you choose, picking one that's going to meet and exceed your expectations in terms of performance, but also rise to the occasion in terms of the environmental and social responsibility that you should be demanding out of every purchase you make.
We're here with Pete Stirling after his wonderful talk about next generation green products. Pete, I think one of the things that folks are thinking right now is, wait, I've heard so many different things, all these different myths about green products. Expand upon that for a minute and let's make people feel comfortable with green products.
I think the first myth is just that they don't work. That's a major concern for somebody. I think the most important thing when you're going in to buy a product in general is you want it to work for you. You've got a problem, you're in search of a solution. And in the past, that may have been true to a certain extent. I think a lot of the companies that really were trying to be ethically green were running into a situation where they were either going to have to overprocess something and make it closer to the volatile chemicals that they were trying to avoid, or simply the solution they were going to find was simply too expensive. So yeah, that's the biggest issue we've seen to date, is just that I think people don't have faith in green products to be powerful. And the good news is that I think we're past that stage. This next generation of green chemicals is truly amazing.
Well, and speaking of chemicals, there are some chemicals that you truly want to avoid. Share that with us.
Well, I mean, if you're looking for a natural product, you're trying to stay away from petrochemicals. I think that everyone's in agreement on that. And that has been the subject of a lot of controversy because, you get into situations with greenwashing, you get into situations where people would consider something to be natural and in fact it isn't. So the number one thing to look for when you're looking at the back label on a product is just whether or not it has petrochemicals in it. If it doesn't explicitly state that it is a natural ingredient, it most likely is petrochemical at this point.
And you have developed a process which is truly superior to the others that are out there. Let's talk about that for a minute.
Well, our process is really revolutionary. Like I said in the talk, it came out of the California Green Chemistry Initiative, this reinvention of the wheel when it came to stain and odor. And our active ingredient, BioCore, is not only bio-based, it's made out of vegetable oil, but it also is both a surfactant and a solvent. So we have one ingredient that can achieve what two ingredients were previously used for. Not only that, but it just does it much, much better than anything had in the past. And we're talking about a potency is twice as strong as your dilamamine or your citrus cleaners. Can actually break down amino acids better than enzymes. And it still has the surfactant technology that allows you to easily remove those stains or that dirt from the surface. Just makes it a phenomenal product. And I think that's the exciting thing about this next generation of green chemicals, is that they are truly powerful and still check all those green boxes.
Well, Pete, we truly appreciate you taking the time to share that with us. Thank you for everything you're doing in the pet world.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us for this PetX Talk. For more information on Pete Stirling, visit ScoutsHonor.com. Funding for PetX Talks is provided by Pet World Media Group, your partner in all things pet media. Additional funding and considerations for PetX Talks is provided by Natura Pets. Natura Pets can help you optimize your pet's health with premium organic supplements from the Amazon and Andes Mountains. Visit naturapets.com. Dogwise Publishing, all things dog. For all of your expert dog book needs, visit dogwise.com. Found Animals, working towards big ideas that advance the safety and happiness of animals in our homes, our shelters, and everywhere in between. Visit foundanimals.org. Special thanks to Pet World Insider, taking you inside the world of pets. Visit petworldinsider.com for more expert radio interviews, articles, and videos.